Hello again, I'm back. I said that I was going to be talking about functions again. Last time we talked about functions as tables. Now we're going to be talking about functions as graphs. I'm going to show you a table, and then I'm going to represent it as a picture and show you why it's a function. And then the last lesson that I'm going to do in terms of functions, at least the last introductory lesson I'm going to do in terms of functions, will show you both already in plain sight. So with that said, I've got this equation, y equals 2x, with domain 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now if you remember correctly, domain means the x values. So I want to plug them in, and I want to plug them in numerical order. Or I shouldn't say plug, I should say substitute them in numerical order. So 0 was one of my x values that I'm going to substitute in. 1, 2, and 3. Now with that said, I'm going to use these values to figure out what my y is. Here's what I do know. I know that y equals 2 times whatever x value I'm working with. So if I'm working with 0, what's my y value going to be? Well, what's 2 times 0? 0. So when I substitute in 0 here, 2 times 0 will be 0. Enough said. When I substitute in 1, what's 2 times 1? What's my y going to be? 2. When I substitute in 2, what's 2 times 2? 4. When I substitute in 3, 2 times 3 is 6. Now before we get to the graph, let's write down what the domain and range is for this particular function. My domain is my x values, that's 0, 1, 2, and 3. Put commas in between all of them to differentiate. What are my y values, or what's my range? My y values. Fantastic. Well, that makes sense. I mean, if I don't see the same x value more than once, I'm fine. I see 0 one time, I see 1 one time, I see 2 one time, and I see 3 one time. Therefore, it's a function according to the table. But I want to show you that's also a function according to the graph. Now my first point I have to graph on my little makeshift graph here is 0, 0, then 1, 2, 2, 4, and 3, 6. My x values are on this line. My y values are on this line. And it's like going to grandma's house. I want to graph 0, 0. So I want 0 on the x, well, I don't go anywhere, and 0 on the y. So right there. I want to go 1 on the x and 2 on the y. So I want to go 1 on the x and then 1, 2 on the y. I want to go 2 on the x and 4 on the y. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to go 3 on the x and 6 on the y. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bam. That's how a functional graph looks like. Now, if that still doesn't make sense, that's perfectly fine because there's one more introductory lesson to functions. I'm going to be talking about relations and functions and how the pictures look. And it should make more sense there, and I usually tell a story to my students when I do that, which I think is pretty funny. But for right now, have a good day. Goodbye.